Unfortunately, we didn't get a sequel to Sabretooth. However, we did get it. Attack of the Sabretooth, a 2005 Sci-Fi Channel film that was distributed by the same company that put out Sabretooth. That's right, Lionsgate. The plot at Primal Park. The future is written in the form of a theme park and a zoo filled with some amazing specimens. 2 Sabretooth tigers are the stars of the show. More investments are needed, though, so Niles, the owner and head honcho at Primal Park, decided to throw a party where he'll reveal the prosperous potential with his state-of-the-art park. Too bad he chose the worst time to invite some college students to play a scavenger hunt. Now when the note says there are no rules, one of them decides to shut down the power, thus unleashing the prehistoric predators from their confinements. All hell. Kind of, sort of, not really breaks loose. With a premise like that, you'd expect a bloodbath. Guests and staff being torn apart left and right. Instead, we mostly focus on the college students and a few of the staff. Hell, the Sabretooth Tigers never even see most of the potential investors. Does that big letdown affect the film overall? Not really. It is just kind of a bummer. One thing that does affect the film based on the audience's tolerance level is the irritatingly dumb dialogue. There are a few funny lines, but everything else just seems like a joke to them. Perry Shen from the Hatchet franchise and Robert Carradine from Sharktopus vs. Terracuda are the best actors in this film, I felt. Shen has this way of being awkward, but entertaining at the same time. He plays the nerd Robbie in this movie. Robert Carradine's character Grant is a true slime bag. His brother, Niles, the head honcho of the park, is sleazy in the sense that he wants to rub his discovery in his brother's face, because of all the times he ruined him. Grant's a clever guy, though, and shouldn't be underestimated. This film tried to be Jurassic Park without the budget. Well, I shouldn't say it has no budget, because apparently it cost $2.8 million to make, which is kind of a coincidence, seeing as how Niles put $2.8 million into the park. Maybe it's an inside joke, or maybe whoever said it had that kind of budget, just as going on how much the park cost to build, and not how much the movie cost to make. If it did have that budget, I'm wondering where the hell it all went. They didn't spend it all on Robert Carradine, did they? I say that, but the film is shot well, has a great location and some decent effects. With a Hawaiian paradise, this film almost brings color to a bleak scenario, except much like the guests not being integral to the plot, a lot of this movie takes place in the dark hallways of the facility. It does create some minor ambience, but then you see the effects and sometimes it's like, okay, I guess. While other times it's like, oh boy. Yeesh. The gore, the effects, there's some awesome gore here. We get a bloody severed arm, a gory mangled body, a few brutal decapitations, and some innards eaten out. Oh, and we can't forget the money shot. This is what the film is remembered for. It's a terrible effect, no doubt, but it is quite creative in terms of execution. The CGI in the Sabretooth Tigers is a bit jittery a lot of the time, but the designs themselves are really good. Also, the animatronic heads are a nice touch. They are not as detailed as the first film's puppet, but it still gets the point across. The motion picture soundtrack, it's got some good themes. I love the one that basically says, "Ooga booga," while laughing. This is a mediocre film. There's tons of potential, but not much payoff. While it does have some good gore, fun characters, and decent music, the lack of good execution, the dialogue, and some of the CGI is less than stellar. It is a decent time passer, though, and if you love crazy creature flicks, then I'd say check this one out. Overall, I give Attack of the Sabretooth a 2.5 out of 5. I'm Brian Gatto, host of Horrors Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page and the description below and leave comments and subscribe.